Hola, buenos dias, sabah al khair, good morning. Hello everyone, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Today I'm just going to talk about some tips of how to travel to Morocco, especially for a girl. So Morocco is a very beautiful place, but it's also a very special place, and I think that if you're a girl, you have to take a lot of more extra precaution when traveling to Morocco. So I'm just going to say this. I had personally an amazing time in Morocco, and if I was to do it again the way I did, I think I would do it mostly the way I did it. Um, I've read so many blogs about how to travel to Morocco, and a lot of them, especially from female travelers, have been very negative. And before I went to Morocco, I did a lot of research, and I decided, based on the research I did, that I was going to go to Morocco the way I did. So, this video, like I said earlier on, is going to be tips on how to enjoy the most out of Morocco. First, number one, I will say is, it kind of sounds mean or something, I don't know, but you have to be very cautious on how you dress in Morocco. Morocco is a Muslim country and is very conservative in certain aspects. So when I traveled to Morocco, I could see in some aspects some women were wearing hijab and wearing jeans at the same time, or in other parts that were more rural, some women were wearing like the whole full let's see, not burq, niqab, head to toe, you know. So Morocco varies in terms of conservativeness and how people wear hijab. But in general, Morocco is a conservative country compared to other Western countries or some Eastern Asian countries. So avoid wearing things like shorts or things that expose your skin, especially if you're a girl, because even I was wearing hijab and I still got a little bit harassed there. In Morocco, so it's just something that you have to take caution of. The second one I would say is number two. There are going to be a lot of people that will beg you on the streets, and while you're even sitting in a car and you're on a stoplight, children will rush to your to your window and beg you for money, or when you're walking by, children are going to ask you for money. If you have a kind heart and you want to give, you can give them something, but just keep in mind that when you give one child, a lot more, not also children, but also people that are begging will be drawn to you and want to beg you for more. If you don't want to give them anything, just say no once and keep going. And let me just tell you, in Morocco, when you say no once, it doesn't mean anything. They're very persistent. They're going to actually follow you. Yeah, that's what I would say about that. I think if you want to help them, like one of my friends over when during the trip, she was really nice, and she noticed a mother sitting on the road with her little baby boy, and they were begging for food and money. And when we finished eating, she told the restaurant owner to give them food. So I think that's a way of helping them, but just giving them money like that could just draw some more harassment from other beggars. Number three step of enjoying yourself in Morocco. Yeah, this is very interesting. A lot of men will make advances at you. They're gonna harass you. They're gonna say some very inappropriate things and even make marriage proposals. I was made a lot of proposals, and my colleagues that also went to on this trip, like one of the girls, the guys were asking how many camels could they buy for her hand in marriage, and the guy told me in the mosaic store that like if I get married to him, the whole item in the store will be mine. And then the girls proposed that if life fails, she can move to the Sahara Desert. So you're gonna get a lot of proposals. Most of them are actually funny when narrating them. But sometimes, some of these people could like whistle and catcall you, and that is never attractive in any culture, especially to women. We don't think that is attractive. You're gonna have that, especially when you live in Morocco. And yeah, in worst case scenarios, some guys could grope you, but that didn't happen for any of us, thank God. But I've read an article that has happened to some women, and so that's some of the downsides as traveling as a woman in Morocco. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna talk about that towards the end of this topic on how to maybe just ignore the guys, because the more you're talking to them, you just encourage them to talk to you more. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit further, and like tips on how we could avoid that as women. The fourth one, number 4, is learn how to haggle. In Morocco, no price is fixed. When I went to the store, I was looking for price tags on some of the materials, be it clothing or ceramics or some souvenirs for my family, and I didn't see any price tag. So you have to, first of all, ask the store owner what is the price, and usually they will tell you what are you willing to pay. But try and get a price for them so you can know how low and how high you want to go, and don't be afraid to go really low. For example, you can say a price is, let's say, 100 dirham, and you say, oh, I want it to be 70 dirham. Like, oh my god, that's so low. You have to increase your price, maybe 72, and he goes down and down. And for me, it was actually fun. Some other people were very terrified because many Westerners have never done haggling before. When they say price is this price, is that price, except of course they're auctioning. So one big tip and trick is that if you're not satisfied with the price of the store owner, just walk away, or just keep walking and say, I think that other store owner had a price I liked. And they will start reducing the price drastically. It works like magic. Just do it. Don't even be afraid. There was a funny story. My friend that was on the trip, she wanted a camel souvenir for her little niece, nephew I mean. And he was saying 100 dirham, and she was like, no, I want it to be 50. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's so low. And they were reducing and reducing, and he was like, it came to like 60, and he was like saying 60, and she was like, I still want it to be 50. And then she walks away, and he was like, okay, 55. And she was like, no, I want it to be 50. And we left, and we just kept walking, and we're looking for the same camel somewhere with a lower price, and we didn't find anything. And she was like, I really wanted that camel. So we kind of took a walk of shame and came back to the store, and we're like, okay, 55. And it was so funny and hilarious. But the whole haggling game is really fun. Enjoy it, and try and get the best deal you can. If you cannot, it's all fun, and either way the Moroccan people are really happy. The fifth one, and this is my conclusion about Morocco. If you're traveling to Morocco as a girl, I advise you go with a guy. It's gonna make your time more enjoyable. I know it sounds kind of like, why do we have to go with a guy, we're independent, blah blah blah. But for Morocco, I advise you, if you want to have a more stress-free time, go with a guy, because whenever the girls go to Morocco, all these guys are gonna harass you. It could be a guy, they're gonna harass you. They're going to just do some things that you just make you feel uncomfortable in your whole experience, and you don't want to. They don't enjoy the beauty of their country. So for me, I went with an agency in Madrid, and that was amazing and perfect and easy, and it was all planned for me. So that's, I think, is the best way to go to Morocco, because you don't have to go through the stress of maybe sometimes when you're walking. I've read that some women walk and they're looking for somewhere, and someone says, okay, let me take you to this place, and they guide you. Usually when people guide you, you don't expect them to ask you for money, and some of the time you just turn and say, okay, so that is like 50 dirham, for example. So we had that guide. When they see that you have a guide, it's kind of like you're already taking, and they're not gonna like harass you as much. Yeah, go with your family, maybe your dad, a cousin, or so forth. Or if you go with girls, go with a lot of girls. In our trip, we were about, I would say, 25 or 27 girls, and like there also were boys or so. So this is the best way. I advise anyone going to Morocco to go with an agency or a group. Yeah, so like even with the group, there were times like our group let us go free, and those times that me and my girlfriends, we walked around, we were harassed terribly. And it was not fun. Like, we had to pretend like we're speaking Arabic so they cannot think I was a foreigner, especially me, because sometimes some of them thought like I looked like them because maybe I was wearing a hijab or something like that. And there was a time where the taxi driver was saying that, oh, come into my taxi, and he actually drove his taxi and blocked us. It was so crazy. At that moment, it was like survival of the fittest. One of my friends ran across the road, and I didn't even know where she was. My other friend had like a scarf around her neck. She had to wear it like cover her face like a niqab, and me, I was just looking at my way. It was so uncomfortable, and right now I'm laughing, but at that moment it was not fun. So yeah, that's what I would advise you for traveling to Morocco. Yeah, those are my tips, and I hope they help you. If you have any other tips on how to travel to Morocco as a female, feel free to comment below. Those are based on my own personal experience. Alright, thank you. I never finish, but before I go, Two questions actually from Morocco. First of all, what is this whole hand of Fatima I see everywhere in Morocco? I don't get it. Like, is that for good luck or something? I don't know. It's everywhere in Morocco, and everyone's always talking about Fatima, hand of Fatima. They'll call you Fatima. The second question I have for Moroccans is, why is it that when you hear someone speaking an American accent, you come to your face and yell Obama? Like, I don't get it. Me and my friends, we got a lot of people that were working on the trip. All of us were American. We got a lot of people yelling Obama, Obama. What is that about? That's funny, but yeah. So it's the things I have. Well, okay, this is the final goodbye. Have a nice weekend.